In today's Leeds news, Academy Awards, Wembley Kit decided, Leeds make Wolf inquiry, Cooper's next step, and Aaronson returns to Leeds. Morning folks, Jer here, Tuesday morning the 21st of May with your Leeds United news. Hope you're having a good week so far. There's not a lot of stuff to get into, so it's small little bits. I have avoided doing the Jesse Marsh piece. Last time I covered Jesse Marsh, people asked me to stop doing it. It's a fair shout at this stage because he's moaning again about Leeds, but we won't cover that today. But not that it is out there if you want to check it out, but we're not going to cover it on this today because we've kind of covered Jesse Marsh complaining about Leeds to death, so we won't be doing that. There are a few small bits to get into. We'll start off with the Academy Awards that have been announced over the last couple of days, and we'll start off with the under-18 side. Sam Chambers picks up Leeds United's goal of the season for his goal against Norwich City earlier this year. Alfie Creswell has picked up the Leeds United Players Player of the Year award for the under-18 side, and Marley Wilson walks away with the club's top goal scorer award with 12 goals in 14 appearances for the under-18 side. He was badly missed in the final, Marley. He's a strong number 9 and he really does add to how Leeds play. And they did miss him in that game, and Freddie Lane played up front instead of wide and didn't work out particularly well for them, which is unfortunate. The under-18s were in action over the last couple of days as well, playing in a tournament in Germany, and they beat Hertha Berlin 3-1. 2 goals from Harry Gray in that game and 1 from Devin Brocky as well, as he continues some fine form as well. Moving into the under-21 category, and Harry Christie has been given the save of the season for his save in the game against Bournemouth. Luca Thomas has been given the goal of the season for the same game against Bournemouth, and Joe Snowden has walked away with the Players Player of the Year award for the under-21s this season. Joe Snowden, when he's fit and flying, is a exciting young player to keep an eye on. I do enjoy watching Joe Snowden. He's a good player. Luca Thomas, same, very exciting young player as well. There's some good players coming through. Whether they all make it or not is always the question, but there's some exciting young players. I have enjoyed watching the 18s and 21s this year for the most part, but yeah. That's the awards for them. Well done to everybody involved. Moving on, let's talk about Wembley, and let's talk about the information that's starting to come out around the playoff. And the kits needed to be decided, and for the superstitious out there, it did look for a small period of time that Leeds may end up wearing the blue peacock kit, which in my opinion is one of the nicest kits we've ever had. But we've never won in it. But thankfully that can all be put to bed now. Leeds will make their appearance in the showcase event at Wembley in their all-white traditional kit, which means Southampton will turn up in their black and grey, similar kits to what they wore in Ellen Road the last time they met. This is decided by the fact that Leeds finished higher in the table than Southampton, so therefore Leeds get first kit. Leeds are essentially the home side in this tie. The last 3 times Leeds have worn white in Wembley, the last time was during the League One playoff in 2008 when we lost to Doncaster. Before that, it was a championship playoff in 2006 when we played Watford, but that wasn't at Wembley, that was at the Cardiff Millennium Stadium, but you get the point. And then 1992 in the Charity Shield win, where Eric Cantona scored a hat-trick and Tony Dorigo notched for Leeds as well. Outside of that game, there's no good news there, is there? But we're breaking records this year. We'll keep breaking them. Moving on, let's talk about potential incoming. This one seems to have a little bit more legs than the other stuff that's popped up over the last couple of days. According to Florian Plettenberg, Leeds have opened talks with Borussia Dortmund right back Marius Wolf. Wolf, 28 years of age and has played 31 times for Dortmund this season, 17 starts and 6-6 in the last 6 games of their season. Wolf's contract is set to expire after the Champions League final next weekend, and he is expected to leave Dortmund. According to Plettenberg, Leeds have made an inquiry and says that the 5-time German star is leaving Dortmund and Leeds are interested in the player, but promotion will be key to Leeds getting him should they be able to push through and move. Wolf won't make a call on where his next step is until after the Champions League final takes place. It should also be pointed out that Wolf is represented by the same agent as Jorginho Rutter, so maybe there's some help he can give Leeds in there. It's unsure. Plettenberg's exact tweet reads as the following: Leeds are interested in Wolf, could be a serious option if Leeds are promoted to the Premier League. Leeds inquiry about 28-year-old right back who leaves Dortmund as a free agent. There is also said to be interest from Saudi, Italy and from Spain in the player as well. There's more talk about what that means for Connor Roberts. Daniel Farke has said he would like to keep Conor Roberts on a permanent basis. Conor Roberts has said himself that he would like to stay at Leeds on a permanent basis. Leeds will need more than one option at right back next season should they get promoted. We've seen that this year. Frees up Archie Gray to get out that right back position and get him more used to playing continuously in midfield. But it is expected that Roberts will go back to Burnley. Vincent Kompany has already kind of hinted at the fact that he will want players in the Championship that can get him back out of the Championship again, and Conor Roberts was one of those players the last time and may end up being a more used player for Burnley next time in the Championship. But a player like Conor Roberts, I do like the impact he has at Leeds and I like how vocal he is. But some things to note with Marius Wolf as well is he's tall and he's experienced. It'd be a big sign to get a player that could potentially play some part in a Champions League final that weekend. I know we had Kiko Casilla before, as Champions League winner, who didn't actually play any games in the Champions League, but Wolf has played games, so that'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Moving on to a player that is leaving Leeds in the next couple of weeks, and that's Leeds United captain Liam Cooper, and his next stage in his football career seems to be starting to line itself out. Cooper has taken up a course as a sports director, and the VSI Executive Education tweeted today that Leeds club captain Liam Cooper has taken up a VSI MSc in sports directorship course starting in September 2024. I wish Liam all the very best in his return to education to see if he can move in towards the directorship. Interesting decision. But also, if you look at Daniel Farke, he did courses in sports director before he decided to be a manager. He very much wanted to be a sports director beforehand, so maybe that's something that he's looking at. And then finally today, we move into the Brendan Aaronson story, and Union Berlin have confirmed that Brendan Aaronson will return to Leeds United in the coming days. We talked yesterday about the possibility of a likely return for Brendan Aaronson, but now Union Berlin have confirmed it on their website. Writing in their official website, they said the following: Brendan Aaronson joined FC Union Berlin on loan from relegated Premier League side Leeds United in the last summer transfer window, winning the hearts of Union fans with his dashing style of play, his speed, and not to forget his decisive goal against TSG 1899 Hoffenheim. After 38 appearances, 2 goals and 2 assists, his time in Berlin has come to an end and he is returning to England. Different statement to the Jack Harrison statement that doesn't mention anything about future talks. Anyone who watches the US Office might think Dwight's auntie's funeral, where the statements are just pointing out the obvious. Brendan signed for us on this date, he played this many games, and now he leaves. You know, you were 6'4", you owned a house, and you lived on this street. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't watch The Office, fair enough. But yeah, a very fact-based statement. Nothing about potential future signings for the player. Nothing about talks with Leeds about bringing him in on a permanent basis. It looks very much like he is coming back to Leeds. He has spoken himself about his desire to stay at Union Berlin. Berlin were less keen on that, and that seems to be showing itself now with Brendan Aaronson returning to Leeds. The second player now to have been confirmed officially by clubs as returning to Leeds is Jack Harrison and Brendan Aaronson. Still waiting on more news on Diego Llorente. Rasmus Christensen expected to come back in a few more. We have to wait and see what happens with Mark Rocket, but all those should have some news within the next couple of days and weeks. Folks, that's going to be it for me today. Massive thanks as always for supporting the channel. I'm back tomorrow morning with more Leeds news. Nearly there. A couple more days to go till the playoff final. Have a cracking rest of your day. I'll talk to you then. See ya. Bye.